Alright, what's up, Wolfpack? Film the first exercise of the day. Yeah, I wanted to switch it up. Usually I start off with bench, usually I film the first bench. I already did bench. So, we're switching it up. Got some tricep push down with straight bar this time instead of the V. So, a little different. Just because I can't really do a warm-up set on this, I'm going to do two sets to failure. And yeah, I'm only going to film 2 of the exercises today. And I'm going to get this first warm-up set out of the way. Or not warm-up set, failure set. Can you guys see me well? I don't know. It looks good. Oh yeah, we got 110 on the bar. Fell out of my hands. Up there. Overall, not a bad set. Besides, me almost dropping it. I'm not feeling the greatest today in terms of my health. I feel like I've been, I can't lift as much as I was yesterday. And having a little bit of stomach issues, but, we still gotta get the lift in. It's not like I'm, bedridden. So, let me stay on camera. So, it's not like too bad, but it's definitely different from how I am normally. In terms of what I wanted to talk about today, don't really got much. First thing I wanted to at least kind of touch on, I don't know, not a whole lot of people watch me to begin with, but I was watching a Joe Bartolozzi video where he talked about how people are dating AI, and it was such an out there concept to me that I was like, there's no way it's real. And then if you watch the video, he goes into like someone's story from like 2018 on how they dated one, and I was like, it was just a really weird thing. I wanted to know if you guys have any, if you're willing to share. Do people actually do that? Like, me personally, I feel like that's really weird. You're showing affection to something that can't. It's like a one way. Yeah, one way emotion, I guess. So like, I don't know. I know a lot of AIs are kind of trained to make you feel comfortable and make you feel like you're not being judged. If you use ChatGPT, if you don't explicitly tell it to not like yes man you, it'll kind of try and ease the situation if you're wrong, or like reinforce a mindset that you have to kind of just like, I guess, lighten your mood while you're talking to ChatGPT. And outside of other AI chatbots, I don't really use many, I haven't used many outside of ChatGPT. I have recently switched to off of ChatGPT because of the whole Anthropic stuff. But I don't know how it is on there, but like the whole idea of dating an AI seems really, really weird. No hate to the people who do though, but if you have any like, I guess, first person experience of someone, well, then it wouldn't really be first person, but if you have some kind of story that you can give out that's real, would love to hear it. And I also want to know what's going on in the person's head who is thinking that, why did you find love there? I don't know. It just seems like a really funky concept to me. Didn't really didn't do much research outside of just watching that video, which I wouldn't even really consider that research. But, I recommend watching the video. I think it gave some good insight on kind of how people are using AI and some other stuff. Anyways, I'm going to get this last failure set out of the way. Still 110 on the machine / cable thing. Go for however many I feel like, and then I'll turn back on the camera when I got the only other exercise I'm going to record ready. Probably going to do like preacher curls. All right. Running up there, my arm path was a little funky there. I feel like I was kind of ego lifting a little bit. Anyways, I'll turn back on the camera for the last exercise, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, what's up, Wolfpack? We got last filmed exercise of the day. We got some preacher curls. Now, I don't have a preacher curl station, I guess. So we're just gonna have to use a good old bench. And, also, I don't have what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. It's going to be I'm not going to do a warm-up set. That's what I was going to say. So, complain how you want. I've been doing this since I came back here for all my bicep exercises. It's a low-key a pain in the neck to get it all set up. So if it looks a little funky, I don't really know what else to say in terms of that. But if you got any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. Just saying, I would be more than willing to use them. But I am gonna get this first set out of the way, and then hopefully I'll have something to talk about. All right. It's really difficult to move this. Like I said, not feeling the greatest, my not being able to move as much weight. So I think I did 5 there. But I feel like normally I do a little more, like 7. I feel like I should get a seat here. Hold on. I'm gonna turn back on the camera, see if I can find a chair. All right, Wolfpack. I think I got a chair here that might be able to fit it. I don't know. I took one quick seat. It seems like I'm a little lower than I normally am, but it doesn't seem too bad. I think maybe I move it a little bit closer. Let's see this. Hold on. Boom. Tell me, does this look fine? I think it feels pretty good, but I still need to recover a little bit. And I do got some stuff I'd want to talk to you guys about. And by that I mean just, if you guys got stuff you'd want me to talk about, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you got to say. Also, if you have any ideas for just stuff you'd want me to do in general, feel free to leave those as well. I am going to do, I've said this a good amount now, but I am going to do the day in the life when I get back to college. I'm going to do that one day. And, one thing I don't like about day in the life is they kind of started off already like fake. They like reenact them waking up. Because I can tell you right now, it's very unlikely that they have a cameraman ready to get the moment that they wake up. So you guys won't see me falling asleep, but I'll turn on my camera when I'm awake. And yeah. Also, real question for people who know a bit more than me about recovery. How important is it to track your sleep? I've been kind of wondering that, especially considering my sleep schedule is a lot more funky now. I'm gonna move this up there. But yeah, my sleep schedule is a lot more funny now that I'm here, because I feel like I'm kind of bedridden more, but more out of choice or laziness rather than sickness, which is why I think most people would be bedridden. But should I track my REM sleep and all that? Like, I've heard good things about it in terms of recovery. And that's about it. But, I've considered getting like a Whoop bar. I think that's or like a Whoop band, not really a bar. Because, I can track how optimal my sleep is. But, that stuff's expensive. And, if you've watched me for the past month, you guys will know I'm not the richest person in the world. Honestly, if you watch me at any time, you guys would probably know that I'm not the richest person in the world. But, I really think it's something I'm looking into. And, if I had the money for it, where I wasn't worried, I'd probably would be doing it anyways. No real question. But yeah, let me know. And I'm going to get this last set out of the way. Try it with the chair. See how this goes. Nah. That was a bad set. But I did push myself to failure there. If you guys couldn't see, I couldn't really get that third rep up. Probably won't use this chair. It was rocking a little much, but that's okay. Anyways, that's it for the video today. Sorry if these past couple videos have been shorter than usual. One thing I really am lacking is just stuff to talk about. So, like I've been saying, please give me stuff you'd want me to talk about. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Also, if you guys are wondering, cat cut me here. That's besides what I was talking about. But, if you want to follow me on other platforms, I have a link tree down in the description. You can follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, all of that stuff. Yeah, love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.